She had only climbed one step higher when her foot slipped. Luckily, she reacted fast and managed to grab hold of the ladder. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unthinkable. Terrified, she froze in place, second-guessing whether she should go on. Above her, her best friend urged her to keep climbing. Taking a deep breath, she forced herself to look straight ahead, avoiding the dizzying view below, and continued the climb, bare hands gripping the steel frame of a 3,000-meter-high abandoned signal tower. What they didn't realize was that the tower was a rusting relic. Parts of the frame were already fractured, several bolts dangerously loose. No matter how careful they were, those hidden dangers were creeping closer with every step. After hours of climbing without rest, the two finally reached a small platform, but they didn't plan to stop. Looking up, the tower's needle-sharp tip loomed above them, the ultimate goal of their challenge. There were no safety barriers, and the higher they went, the stronger the wind grew. Becky's legs trembled just from looking up. Shivering, she turned and grabbed the side ladder, testing its strength with a nervous shake before stepping on. Seeing her friend ahead hadn't fallen gave her enough confidence to keep going. Her friend looked back kindly and warned her not to glance down. But of course, the more she was told not to, the more she wanted to. Just one look, and Becky was trembling all over, her fear flooding back. At this point, though, quitting wasn't an option. The two were roped together. If her friend kept climbing, Becky had no choice but to follow. The summit was just within reach. Her friend, a seasoned climber, treated the danger like a thrill, even cracking jokes as the wind howled. Neither of them noticed that when Becky shook the ladder earlier, one of the already loose bolts had popped out completely. At last, they reached the very top. Becky, exhausted, barely managed to haul herself up. Her friend stretched out a hand, pulling her onto the tiny peak. Together, they stood, swaying in the wind, and looked down, feeling as if the entire world lay beneath their feet. They immediately pulled out their phones to snap selfies, capturing the breathtaking moment. But once the pictures were done and it was time to climb back down, they realized the harsh truth. Getting off a platform barely a meter wide was far harder than getting up there. To keep Becky safe, her friend gripped the tower with one hand and held Becky with the other, waiting until she was fully back on the ladder before letting go. But just a few steps into the descent, disaster struck.